This is the Amp Hour Podcast, recorded October 15th, 2024, episode 680, Catching Rockets with Musk Sticks.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Contextual Electronics.
They caught it. They
caught
caught the damn thing.
The chopsticks, yeah.
The Mechazilla.
Yeah, that thing was, that was a very impressive video. That was first time too, yeah.
Yeah, first shot. Unbelievable.
You stayed up for it. You stayed
Yes,
awake.
yes, I did. I did a live stream for it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. I was
did the live
only
stream go?
half past 11, midnight here.
So,
you know.
so my friend sent me a link, and we're like watching the run up to the thing, and then it like took this really weird turn. He sent me so I'm watching on YouTube, and it was like a weird, I'm like it said like Elon Musk in the title or something like that, and it was like, oh man, Elon just naming the stream after himself, whatever, and then Elon walks out on stage in front of a rocket, and I'm like, what is going on? And then it's Elon Musk saying, you can get in at the ground floor of this new type of crypto.
Oh God, you were watching the scam channel.
It was a scam channel, yeah. Oh
dude.
my gosh. Oh man, it was just like, what? Oh,
Well,
it didn't take too long, but there was a lot of people
it's-
watching. There was about
right.
300,000 people on that stream.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was-
they hijacked some poor bastard. I saw one. They hijacked some poor bastard's channel that had like 300,000 subs or something. I heard somebody else saw a channel where it had like 2 million subs.
Yeah.
And they hijacked it, and they were running the live stream. Yeah.
Yep. And then they there was a QR code to go.
Yep. To go
Send a bunch of
buy some
Bitcoin
crypto and get scammed. Yeah.
I'm sure you had to buy crypto with other crypto, of course.
No, it's you send them your crypto and they'll double it.
Oh, they'll double it, of course. Yeah, that always works.
It's usually the
yeah.
old doubling scam. Yeah.
Yeah, doubles. Yep. Why wouldn't that work? Works with regular money.
Total.
Dave, send me some Aussie bucks. I'll double them by turning
worries.
into Freedom Bucks. Send them back.
Oh my God.
Well, you could use that money that I sent back to you to call the tow truck because you almost got stuck after your live stream.
I did almost get stuck after my live stream. So
wow.
Yeah,
What
it was
happened?
it was 2 a.m., 1:30, 2 a.m. in the morning, and I had my car plugged in downstairs, and getting some extra charge.
Yeah, get the juice, man.
Yeah, why not? And I went to normally, if I open the door, then it turns off the charging for 10 seconds so that you can actually pull out the plug. So I went and chucked opened the door, went and chucked my bag into the car like I normally do, and then I went to pull the plug out, and it ain't coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, well, something, odds happening.
Yeah, you missed
So-
the 10-second window, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
probably
missed the
what it was.
10-second window or whatever, which I think's like crazy short. So I went inside so unlocked the door, went inside where my cable is, and I turn off the power to the charging cable because that always works as well. If you turn off power I've got one of those inline chargers, one of those. That just
I don't know. Actually, sorry. What does that
plugs
mean?
into a PowerPoint. Oh, I can send you a video because I've got a.
Of course.
I've got a tear down and how it works video. It's actually
okay,
really good.
okay.
So here you go. There you go for those playing along at home. Well, you're not because only
In the
Chris
show
can
notes.
see it.
It'll be in the show notes. Yeah.
There you go. A surprisingly good charge. It's just a inline slow charger. Well, it's not slowish. It's 3.3 kilowatts. 15, 16 amps, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah, cool.
at 240 volts. So anyway, so I switched off the power to that, and no, it's still stuck.
Yeah,
It's still stuck. It's nothing. And on the Hyundai Ioniq, at least my one, there is no, you can't go into the car and go to the screen and say unlock thing. There is no unlock thing. You either have to press the door open button on the remote control, which will do it, or you have to physically open the door, which will do it, or you have to physically switch off the charger. And this charger does not have like a stop charge button, which then can indicate to the well, it actually just turns off the power. And then the car's supposed to detect that the power's turned off, the actual, the mains input's turned off, and then it's supposed to unlatch the little lock-in solenoid pin, which holds the cable in. For those who don't have an EV and don't know the culture, all EVs have this little lock-in pin in it that when you plug in your charger thing, lock-in pin comes down so that when you're at a public charging station, no one can just go, oh, I need the charger, screw you, and yank out your cable and actually use it on theirs, right? So it's got this lock-in pin. And it just would not unlock. And I tried turning the car off and on again, as you do, and tried all sorts of weird and wonderful things, and it would not budge. And I've had no problems in four years and probably like 1,000, charging things. And and then I was, starting to figure out, well, how am I going to bloody well solve this? And it took me like 20 minutes before I actually remembered that, I think there's a manual release or something. And I didn't have the manual in the car anymore because we don't bother, carrying around the manual. Just takes up space in the glove
Bush
box.
League. Bush League, man. You always put the manual in the car. Glove box.
Anyway, so, and I thought, I think it's in the boot somewhere. So I'm looking around in the boot, can't see it. I'm trying to, take panels off and stuff. And then I think, it might be down the very bottom. So I had to take stuff in the boot. I had to take everything out. And then you take off the bottom trays. And sure enough, right down under the bottom trays is this little manual override cable that you pull. It's, it's actually labeled, manual charge door override cable. And yank on that and tug and Bob's your uncle. I'm free again. But it took me it was like half an hour of effort before I actually remembered that. So man,
this is good.
I thought I was going to have to walk home. I thought I was
exactly.
Walk home at like 2:30.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I was a little surprised to hear about this fact that there's a solenoid in there. I've never tried yanking on a cable, right? Obviously, right? I mean, why would you?
Right.
I don't use a lot of charging infrastructure either. I don't.
Well, your one looks your connector's physically different to mine. You've got like a Type 1 a Combo 1 or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a. I should try this at some point, like on a public charger or something, because so my home charger, which is what I normally use, is just like a super slow, it is very, very slow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But it has a trigger on it. So you press the trigger and you can just press the trigger and it unlatches and it stops because it's not a significant amount of power flowing through it, right? I mean, like 12 amps.
Yep. It isn't a big deal,
volts.
so you can pull it out and break it,
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know actually. I mean, I should do this.
I'm staring at your connector here, which is a Chevy bolt.
Bolt.
And,
that's right.
Yeah, and you've got these little like springy latchy thing above the connector. There's like a springy latchy two hooky things. Is that right?
Yeah, and that is the release. I'm trying to find.
Right. See, mine doesn't have that. Mine like it's integrated. Mine has a hole in the connector, and then you plug it, shove it through, and then there's a solenoid which you can't see, which is inside the car, which brings a pin down. Which
I mean, it does make sense to have a lock, right? I mean, that is.
Oh yeah, no, of course for
stealing the cable, but also if you have
public.
significant. I mean, I'm sure there's very fast arc detecting and stuff like that. You don't want to have a lot of current flowing and then it's stopping, because then you'd have a you spike, right? If you're flowing
you don't want to pull out one of those fast chargers. You don't want to pull out a fast
yeah.
charger. Man, no way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did estimate poorly on a recent road trip. I thought we were going to make it, and we did not make it. And so I was just at a level 3 charger, but I didn't think, I should try and pull this out of here.
Right. No, you probably can't. I'd be surprised if you can.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd be stunned.
Makes sense. Also, I was a little surprised. I was only charging it, even though it could do 150 kilowatts. The car was only doing 36. So
right.
Which was, I mean, it's fine for what I need. I was trying to top it up.
Well, mine can only do a maximum of 50 kilowatts. And then it's tapered. Yeah, every car has a tapered charge profile. So that once it, if you're at, 30% or something, it might charge at the full rate. But once you hit 60%, it might drop down to a different level, and then 80% will drop down to a lower level, and that's to preserve the battery. So
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just amazed. Like some of these chargers, you see some of the infrastructure says they can do 350 kilowatts.
Oh yeah.
So that's nuts.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
And
these new-
and the cables are water cooled. Like you'll actually hear the pump
wow.
pumping the
Really?
fluid through it. Oh yeah, because the actual connectors get so hot and the cables get so hot they have to have water cooling in
Yeah.
them. So yeah, it's nuts.
Did you happen to see Marquez Brownlee's review of the Chevy Silverado?
No,
It's a new EV that just came out. It's got
right,
a 475-mile range.
right.
Wild.
That's
yeah.
that's
I mean,
pretty
it's like
nuts.
a $100,000 truck. It's all these trucks are just
Yeah,
like
because
so many batteries. You know?
80% of the cost is the battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep. And somebody on X was bragging, "Oh, that's why you should buy a Tesla, and that's why I have Tesla stock." So I replied with a video and some links to people being locked in their Teslas and people having the exact same charger connector issue I was having.
Oh my
The exact
gosh, yeah.
same charge, because the Tesla's even smarter, right? It's got, and the Tesla also has a manual pull thing
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
boot
yeah.
somewhere. It's got a charger in, override cable.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Is it a standard connector across all EVs in Australia?
Yes.
It is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Even the if you buy a Tesla here, it does not have the US Tesla
Doesn't it? Yeah.
connector. It's
Right,
got
right,
the
right.
standard one here. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, that's the same for every other country in the world except the US. The US is a special snowflake. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, and now we're all adopting the Tesla one, I think. I think that's what is going to happen over time. I think,
I've heard something like that. Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
might have even
yeah.
talked about that on a previous episode way back.
yeah.
So,
I know I keep saying I always think of the Chademo. I don't know if that's how you say it.
Yeah,
That's like
Chademo. Yeah, or something.
yeah, that's like the
Yeah.
Nissan one.
Yeah,
I have
that was the
CCS.
older standard. That was before
That's right,
Tesla became popular and before the Type 2
Yeah.
became popular. Yeah, that was also, like, I've got one of those cables in the boot because there are a
Oh,
few,
interesting.
like, just in
Yeah.
case. I've I've got one of those conversion cables just in case in an emergency I might find some other older outlet one, but no,
Hmm.
I have never used it, so no.
Hmm.
Then
Yeah, I
again, the
mean,
number
we're
of times
honestly-
I've charged on the road is
Yeah, I mean, just
like
say.
a handful of times. Like,
I mean, I barely
It
leave
just
the house, Dave, but we
Right,
went
yeah.
to the zoo, so the zoo is a little further away from me,
Okay.
and we tried it, and estimated poorly.
you estimate, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Next
Noob.
time.
EV
I know.
noob.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're learning.
totally.
Like learning.
So what actually happened? Did it start beeping at you and saying you've
No,
only
it wasn't
got
even
10%
close.
remaining?
No,
or-
not even close like that. No, it was like we left the house. It said we had, there's gonna be miles, freedom units coming up to,
Yep.
avail
Right.
your ears. It said we had 210 miles.
Right.
I have the battery set to only charge to 80% as a standard. So I should
Yep.
have turned that to 100, and that would have
Yes. Yeah, if
that
you
would
were
have
doing a
been
big trip.
240 miles or maybe more than that even.
Yeah. Right.
Almost like 270, I think, actually is what it usually maxes out at. And so I forgot to do that. And then, it's really hilly here. And so by the
Okay,
time we
yes.
got to the
Yeah.
zoo, there was no chargers where we were, and it said we were down to
Oops.
80 miles, and we were 70 miles away from home, and we're like, no, we gotta stop on the way home. So
All right.
nothing like extreme, and like literally it was like pull into a Walmart, 20
Okay.
minutes of charging, and we
Yeah,
had
found
more
one.
than enough
Okay.
to get home. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, do you have an app that tells you where all the chargers are?
Yeah, but it's not very good. Unfortunately, there's ChargePoint is one in the U.S. That's like kind of a community.
we had one here, but I think ChargePoint went bust here.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think that's mostly community contributed because like the data was real shaky. It was like, oh, we think there's a charger here, and we think this is the capability, but it was like,
Oh no,
and-
ChargePoint. Yeah, I think I used it. I haven't used the app in so long. I actually forget. Yeah, because we so rarely charge our car in a public place.
Yeah.
It's just like, eh.
Yeah, yeah. And then what I did with that is then usually that's like look up what the
Oh yes, ChargePoint.
what they will do is they'll tell you what the vendor is, so like the fast charge vendor, and so it's like EVgo is one of the ones in the U.S. and then Electrify America, and the
Okay.
infrastructure. So it was Electrify America. I had not used them before, but man, it was because it was a 350 kilowatt station. Like they have like a full like substation basically behind it. Like mini, very mini, but like just the size of the transformers is like whoa. They really are cranking some power out of these things. So
Yeah, right.
that's impressive.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even have the. Damn. I can't
You don't have
even
Electrify
remember.
America? Yeah.
No,
We should
I
get-
like the app. I've got 5 apps on here. I've got ChargePoint, I've got EO, I've got Evie, I've got Car Charge, and I've got Charge Fox. And I believe all 5 of them have gone out of business.
yeah. It's got to be
like-
a tough. I mean, like, what do
Oh,
you
yeah, it's
maybe
crazy.
getting a cut of like referring people to like, and like no one wants to pay more than the power rates. So like, it's a tough thing to
Well,
do. You know, it's-
no, people are happy to pay, a rate for an emergency charge somewhere, but there's just so
Sure.
few people doing it because anyone with any sense who owns an EV charges it at home, right? They buy
Yeah,
it
yeah,
because
the
they
best
have
case,
the
you're-
ability to charge at home.
Yeah, you have a radius, and yeah, you're just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
staying
exactly.
within that mostly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not 100% true though. I have a friend who's in DC. He doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
a place to charge, and so he relies on charge infrastructure. But you could argue that like his local fast charge station is
Yeah.
his, that's like his local gas station effectively, right?
Right, yes, exactly. Yeah, there are some people who do it, but there's not many people in Australia. I don't know many people in Australia who own
In
an
Australia,
EV.
yeah. If you can
But-
afford an EV, you can definitely afford charging in your
Yes,
house, right? Like,
exactly.
so, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
There you go. So, EV ownership. Yay.
EV, yep. We will continue to talk about this, folks, but it's mostly going to be, for me, it's going to be like maintenance over time. Like, what do I do?
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't
well,
think drive this thing
yeah.
to the ground, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, mine's getting towards 5 years old now, so it's going to be interesting to, I'll be getting towards that, 8-year warranty on the battery pack in
Oh,
the
yeah,
not too
right.
distant future, So, yeah. I'm actually not. I skipped my last service, by the way. It was, like, because it actually pops up on the screen, oh, you're 500 kilometers away from your next service, and then it's 0 kilometers and go, oh, yeah, whatever, do it next week. And then,
Clear.
and now I'm
yeah.
7,000 kilometers past my last set, and it keeps popping up.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, eventually,
7,000 Ks
you could
past.
you could fix
Yeah.
that like they talk about on Car Talk with just a piece of electrical tape
Yep.
on the screen.
Yep. But then I looked, right? And then I went to maybe I should book it in. And then I went to look and they wanted to charge me $800 for the service. And then I went to the price breakdown because normally it's only like $150 or something, right? It's cheap. Okay, so they don't really do anything. They check your
Right.
fittings,
They lube it up and check your tire pressure and yeah.
They actually rotate the tires, which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Very handy, by the way. You actually get just the value out of that just by rotating your tires, so you get extra life on your tires. But anyway, so I went to they give you a price breakdown. Then I went, oh, you have to change the entire coolant system, which on an EV, which on the Hyundai Ioniq is like a major it's major surgery. Like changing
really?
the coolant. It isn't just topping up coolant. No. I've mentioned this, but didn't we mention it before? Because
I don't think so.
I've actually had this done. My EV was popping up with a coolant warning, and apparently I got hit with the Hyundai curse, the Hyundai coolant curse, which is where you get some they use this special whiz bang proprietary coolant fluid in there. And it goes hard or something, so it turns into crystals or something weird like that.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah. So it's actually a known problem, and so I took it back to the service center. I got it fixed under warranty, but my local official Hyundai service center went, well, this is the first one we've done. So it took them a day and a half, and they had to strip the car down. They had to actually drop the battery out and everything to actually do this. It was a major operation, he said. They actually roped off a whole section of the service center just so that they could do it. And everyone was standing around learning
suits
how
like
to
an
do
ET,
it. Yeah, right. Yeah, in an ET movie. That's it. And it took them a day and a half to change the coolant on my... So anyway, and apparently that's part of the service once you hit 60,000 Ks or something. It's like, but I just went, no, well, I don't need that because I had it done last year under warranty. So, screw that. So I didn't, I just went, bugger it. I'll just wait until my 75,000 K service and then I'll get it bloody well serviced. So I think I'm skipping this one. I'm already halfway there. So,
I mean, it is well understood on this show that we know very little about cars. And then I think about
exactly.
what did they leave in the EV? I don't even know. I'm like, well, there's brake pads, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
there's everything. There's still a power steering, suspension. Everything's the hydraulic brakes. And
I guess
everything.
you still have the
it's all
ball
still there.
joint and your shocks and your struts and your Blah,
which
blah,
is
blah.
more important than your engine. That's a more important safety thing than your engine. You get all these idiot EV owners going, oh, I never have to service my EV.
Oh, yeah.
You bloody
Yeah.
idiot. It's a 2-ton freaking lethal weapon.
Yeah.
And you don't want to check
Right.
that your brakes and your steering and your shocks and everything all else is still intact. And it's really low cost. It doesn't, $150
Sure,
for,
yeah, that's
every 15,000 Ks. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's almost free. So might as well have it done. But no.
Yep.
Yeah, snobby EV owners. Yep.
We're the worst. All right. Well, we should switch away from that. Things that I would like to be snobby about. No, I mean not snobby about. I would like to
Snooty.
promote snooty, snotty.
Snooty.
Yeah.
Sorry, for those who don't know, that was a Ferris Bueller
Ferris,
reference.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Say
yeah.
Ferris.
Yeah.
Yep.
I now have PCBs with QR codes on the back of them. Have you seen this new thing?
I've put barcode. You're like a decade and a half behind, dude. I used to have barcodes on
Are they
15 years ago.
individually? But are they individually incremented? That's the piece that
Yes.
that's wigging me out about that. Really? Okay.
Oh, on the actual board itself.
It's in the silk screen. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
So it's a new JLC option, and I
Yeah.
I haven't ordered a board in a while.
Right.
But now you can basically put like
Right.
a customizable
Sweet.
QR code
Yep.
that's also auto incremented. So I got 5 boards.
So their
And-
Gerber program automatically inserts and increments the number.
It's got to be a post facto thing. I don't know. Like it's weird, but it's cool. I mean, like
Is
because,
it
well, the other
is
thing,
it actually on the copper or is it on the silk screen?
It's on the silk. So
Then they've probably got a dot matrix silk screen printer and they can
must
do
be
that
it.
on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fly.
yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
Right. So
But the thing for me
it
is-
isn't masked. Okay.
it is
Right.
not. Yeah, it's not in that. Yeah.
Yep.
But the thing for me about this is like, I've wondered in the past with doing like vinyl sticker. You can get like the chemically resistant
Yes.
vinyl stickers that are encoded
That will
as well.
and they will go through the PCB wash and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But I haven't figured out how to do like that is an expensive zebra printer or similar.
Yeah.
And now if this becomes like a standard feature, it's like, oh wow, you can like basically start putting ad hoc or even post hoc like serial numbers on your boards that
Yep.
I really, for me, like in my, simplistic low volume operation type things, I'm literally it's just like me and a Sharpie. That's like that.
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
the
of
most
course.
common thing. It's like, oh, this is
Right.
the Rev A1,
Yeah,
Rev
yeah.
A2, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. And it's not that different now either. It's like the board name and it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I have 5 boards. But now it's QR code. It could actually be like scanned into a process as well, which
Right.
is it's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Nice.
So
Yep.
hope that goes to more board vendors.
Right.
I'm not beholden to
The-
JLC, but it's the first time I've
Right.
seen it, so that's cool.
Nice. The other thing you can do, of course, if you want board ID, is to put on a one-wire chip onto boards. We
okay.
did this all the time back in the day because you can buy like a one-wire chip. So they're real cheap and simple, and their job is simply to have a 64-bit serial number
Yeah.
inside the chip, and that's it. And then your software can read it out, and so you can have individual board ID. It's great.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
handy.
yeah.
So
That is
for
true. This would
hardly
not.
any bomb cost.
Yeah, that's true.
cents or whatever.
This one is meant. This actually is a peripheral board, so it's nothing fancy.
Right.
It actually doesn't have a micro on board, so I
Oh,
guess it doesn't
there you go.
have. And it does have a bus. It is bus access, so it could do one wire, I suppose, or I2C. But then, how would you then, when you did that, when you had the one wire chip on board, would you then have it go through a process at burn in, or not at burn in, at like programming stage or test stage, and then have a printer print a corresponding label? Like, how did you do the association?
Oh no, it stayed an electronic association. So
Okay, so there's no way,
so
like,
that the
externally
app
to
can
see what it
know.
was.
Well,
Yeah, right.
through some app or whatever. Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
okay.
But it was just a
Yeah.
way so that the actual product could know what modules were actually plugged in and which serial
Got it.
numbers they were, and Yep.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of chips these days, I don't know, I've had some cheapy microcontrollers. A lot of them, they'll increment, they'll guarantee some level of like uniqueness as well.
A lot of
38,
micros have a
32,
built-in
64, whatever.
unique serial
Yeah.
number now. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, it's just at
that's
the
reasonably
factory.
common. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
do a laser thing and just burn off bits.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So,
Cool.
yeah, it is pretty neat. I mean, it's I this is the board that I've been live streaming about, so I just got the boards back in, and I'll try firing it up this week on the live stream. Maybe. If the parts show up in time, I'll try it. It's a really stupid board. It's just relays, to be honest. It's just a external relay board, but it's got a GPIO expander for LEDs, and that's about it. Yeah, I guess that's all it does. It's got
Sweet.
four relays and a bunch of backlit LEDs. So
Nice. Speaking of micros and programmability and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to be stocking a new Bryman multimeter soon. They've just released a new, the BM2257 meter. It's basically you'll probably get the EEV blog forum thread as the first, as one of the first Google answers. Yep. Anyway, it's basically an upgrade to the old school BM257, which is and basically an upgrade to the BM235, which I've been selling for like a decade now.
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, and so it's an upgrade to that. So
I have that one, the 235. I think I have, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That was one of the sendbacks that landed in my lap.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, it's exactly the same as that, except it's got a bar graph and auto hold and.
Got it. Yeah, that's a great meter. I like that one.
Yep. Yeah. Anyway, this one's even more better. So, in exactly the same form factor. So
it's literally on my bench. I just verified it is the 235.
Yes. Yep. There you go. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, very nice meter. So I'm going to start. So they sent me the prototype. I tore it down. You can get the tear down photos on my Flickr account, I think.
Flickr. Oh man. Old.
Yeah, but is there anything else I should switch to?
I don't know. No,
exactly.
It's true.
Exactly. I've been
I
having
have no
stuff
argument.
on there for a decade.
I enjoy.
Right.
Enjoy. It's like it's like little bits of internet history that are still in use.
Yeah, Flickr.
Like Gmail.
Yeah, right. I'm still. Unfortunately, I'm still. I'm still Gmail. And anyway, I just sent you a link to the Flickr account there, and and because it's a new design, and I've been selling the BM 786 for a few years, and that is a new design Bryman, and it actually uses a firmware reprogrammable flash controller in it, right? So this new 2257, there's a little programming port on it. If you have a look at the first photo there, right? There's a little, right? There's obviously a little, and it's even labeled ICP, in-circuit programming. So I assumed, of course they're using a new flash micro now. They've changed over, and I'll be able to update the firmware.
Wait, now? You said now? What were they using before?
Well,
like
actually,
one time OTP.
Okay, Bryman have always used one-time programmable micros, right?
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Still.
Yes.
Still.
Well, almost every multimeter on the market uses one-time programmable micros. They are not firmware upgradable.
Huh.
Name
the cost?
You can cost.
This is totally I don't know this stuff. So just tell me.
Well,
tell me why.
There's two reasons: cost, and the other one is because a multimeter is like a safety thing. Right? It's a technically it involves safety, right?
Sure. Okay.
User safety. You don't want the users dicking around with it.
You're about to say that you're going to try dicking around with this thing.
This is why the BM 78X series, the 786, which I sell, it does have firmware updating, but the public can't do it. Only dealers like myself have access to the programmer. Yes, only the dealers can do it, just in case there's a new firmware release and you've got stock and you want to upgrade it, right?
Got it.
Okay. But no, they will not release it public cannot do it. They don't want the public doing it because the public will just dick things up. They'll muck around with it and they'll screw it up.
I don't understand that,
and they could die.
The argument of you're gonna die though, the fuse is what's saving you. It's not the programming that's saving you. It's not like
no,
but two things.
Yeah, but if it reads,
I reprogrammed it to have the metal foil short out, at the wrong time.
But it has a reading which can impact safety. So it's it's you're measuring something high voltage and it says it's 0, but it's actually live, and you go touch it and you're dead. Then right. So I can't blame any multimeter company for not releasing public firmware. So there's very few meters on the market that will allow public firmware update, right?
But this isn't public. You're saying it's dealer public. It's
it's dealer pub, but
select few.
Yes, there is a select few. That is correct. Bryman are one of the companies which will not allow public firmware updating. But I just assume because this new model that they've just actually released had a in-circuit programming port. I thought, it must be flash upgradable. But no, I just found out this morning, nope, they're going back to one-time programmable chips. So, and that in-circuit programming header on the board is just so that they can program it after it's assembled.
Time. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one time.
Yep, that is the one time. So it's one-time programmable chip. It's not firmware updatable. So there you go. Yeah, they're going back to OTP. I don't know if that's a company-wide decision or that's just because they had to lower the cost on this one by a few cents.
Is this you saying that you're sad because you thought you had the ability to do it as a dealer,
I'm
and then it was
sad.
ripped away from you?
Yeah. I thought I had the ability to update the firmware, but nope, I don't.
Welcome back to the ground level, Dave, with the rest of us plebs.
Yes. So one-time programmable is still a thing, folks, is what I'm saying. None of this flash rubbish, Yep. OTP for the win. And you save a few cents on your micro by it being OTP. But, but considering that you can get a flash programmable micro for, what, 2 cents? What is that, what is that 2 cents? No, is it the 1 cent micro or the 3 cent micro or something?
3 cent micro. Yeah, the Paduk.
The Paduk one. Is that flash? I can't actually remember now.
That is flash.
Yeah, it's flash, isn't it? You can reprogram that sucker.
I was really surprised when Cian Lore was on the show. So he was talking about the CH32V003, which I haven't looked up recently. He said the 04, 05, 06 is supposed to come out soon, but he actually said that he wished they would make a cheaper non-flash part because he said he wanted to operate, because he was always operating it where he was loading over the one-wire programming interface.
Right.
At boot time, and he wanted to just do that all the time.
Got it.
It was an interesting take. I mean, like, obviously, he's a mad lad. He's doing crazy things with firmware that I would never do. But like, it is an interesting idea of like the idea of having a peripheral that you're just always pushing code to right before you use it. That kind of idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then it just lives in RAM. Oh, okay, sure.
There you go.
Flash. Who needs Flash?
Nah. All that modern rubbish. No, one-time programmable. Thank you very much.
Tunneling electrons and blah, blah,
Real men use OTP micros.
Sure,
One time. Yeah.
It's not done right the first time.
Don't screw it up, kid. You get one shot, kid. Don't screw it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
One-time micros put hair in your chest.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I was just just hawking test equipment this past week at Embedded World North America.
Oh, yes, How did Embedded World go? At which
great.
state was it? It was in Texas.
It was in Austin, Texas, my old hometown.
Yep.
And it is a very different place than when I lived there.
Really? What's changed?
It's so much bigger. Like it's like
there's
the part of town I stayed in it existed when obviously the land was there, but like it was Rainy Street. I was by Rainy Street for people that know Austin. And it was just like there was nothing there when I lived there in 06 to 08. It was like, just rundown buildings. And now it's like literally like 20 high-rise hotels / apartments, and like, there's like a nightlife district there too. It's wacky.
I'm seeing it now. Yeah, it's right. It's right on the river.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of high-rise stuff there.
Yeah.
So
and
how
it's like, and
long
more
are we
and more,
talking about? What time period are we talking about? That
I was there.
Change?
Well, I was there 06 to 08, and so since then, so it's been 16 years since I was there.
Yeah, you can build a lot of high rises.
You can build a lot in that time. Yeah, totally. And they still are. I mean, like I saw at least 7 or 8 like under construction, like active construction.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's wacky. It's just there's a lot of people there. It was conference was great. I was actually at the Jewel Scope booth with former guest of the show, Matt Liberty, and I was helping out at that booth, and that was nice. And I had a demo going that I think you and I talked about a couple weeks ago, but I had remember we talked about EDRX and PSM, or like the cellular modes and stuff like that.
Oh yes, right.
Yeah, so I had scripted this thing to kind of turn everything off and just show different power modes and like get into lower and lower power states over time, and even like turning on EDRX, which is like a low power. It still like kind of checks in with the tower, but it doesn't do anything unless it has a message, sort of thing.
Gotcha.
And I'll be publishing. I'll have a video of the demo at some point, but it was cool. It was a good little demo.
Excellent. And the conference, it was how well attended was it?
It was apparently it's 3,500 people, which for first year is pretty good.
Yep.
It was a good. It was a lot of locals. Austin's got a lot of stuff around it, so
Yeah, of
a lot of
course.
people drove in from Houston. Austin itself obviously has a lot of tech. I didn't mean anyone from Dallas. But those are kind of like the extent of where you'd probably drive in from, and then it's easy to
Right,
get there
okay.
on a plane too.
Sure.
So yeah, it was a good mix. I saw a lot of big name companies on name badges, so like that is kind of a telling thing, and I bet that'll attract more companies next year.
Right.
But next year it's not in Austin. That's another thing I learned.
Oh,
It's going to
there
be
you
in
go.
Anaheim, California, which
Oh,
is
yes.
like 3 hours closer to you, Dave. So
I've been to Anaheim.
I know you have. Yeah, the
Yes.
Renaissance thing, right? Way back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, come on in, man. We can go hang out. We can go hang out at Disneyland together next year.
Right. Oh, yeah. Been there, done that. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yep. Disneyland. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yep.
packed, dude.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm not going this year. My wife's going with our daughter.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Yep.
it'll be fun.
Yep.
It'll be fun for her.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I would recommend it. It was pretty well attended,
Cool.
pretty well put on. Good events after the fact, or after the event rather. Like the nighttime stuff was good.
Yep.
I gave a talk about Zephyr. I'll be posting that too.
Excellent.
And I don't know, got to meet some new people, got to see some old friends. Good times were had by
bananas.
all. Yeah, I didn't
Excellent.
lose my voice. That was probably the most important thing, actually.
Right.
I feel like every time I go to an event now, I lose my voice.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's nuts.
yeah.
Yeah. Just all day,
Yeah,
yapping
exactly.
away, and
Yeah,
it's-
and just
yep.
like you're around a lot of people and you're getting sick and just like, and like, I don't know. I think I've mentioned on the show before. Like my wife hears me like talking to like nerd friends, and she's like, "You get so loud."
Yeah, exactly.
Because I do. I'm getting
Yes, yeah,
excited.
yeah,
I'm like, "Look
yeah,
at this thing!
get
And look at that thing!
animated,
And oh my
yeah.
god, you got to see this! And look what this thing Dave
Yep.
did and whatever." Like it's just So yes, she ain't wrong.
Welcome to the club. Yep.
Yeah, right. We're nerds. Yeah.
Speaking about nerds,
Yeah.
nerds tend to lack tact. I thought this was a given.
Yep.
Yeah. Hackaday don't seem to think it's a nice thing, unfortunately.
Is this
Yeah.
is this from the list now? I actually
this
have
is on the list.
I have not yet looked at the list.
Engineering versus tact, Hackaday. Basically, Hackaday just published this article the other day saying if you can't say anything nice is the title. And so basically they considered shutting down their comments section entirely on their site because
Not just one time either.
oh right, okay, it isn't the first time, huh? That's
Yeah,
not surprising.
no.
Yeah, because they're not happy with people slagging off projects, and because that's what Hackaday mostly do. They publish builds, right? They publish projects, and they weren't happy with people in there being negative in any way. You're supposed to be. They want people to be only positive. Oh, good work. Here's a trophy for your project. Not, oh, you should have done this. You should have. Yeah, like, hello, welcome to engineering. Jesus.
I think there's a difference. I was talking to who was I talking about this? Like, it's possible to be critical. Oh, we were talking about Bill Gates, and it was someone who used to work at Microsoft. And he was talking about like Bill Gates's like reaction in meetings, and he said like it was sometimes very violent reaction, like
Oh yes,
very
yeah.
loud, like
oh no,
like
he would call you an idiot. He'd call you
exactly
retarded.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
right, exactly, yeah, and like that is not necessary. You could say it's a bad idea without like
Yes.
ad hominem attacks. And I
Yeah,
feel like
no,
they're-
you don't. The general line is you don't attack the person, but you're allowed to attack
Totally.
ideas.
Oh,
That is the engineering
agree.
ethos. Engineering doesn't exist without this. Engineering doesn't exist without engineers lacking tact. I'm sorry,
Yep.
it's just the way it works. So, but yes, if you want to remove comments that are attacking the person, fine. We do that. That's one of the rules on the EEV blog forum is no personal attacks. That's like the number one rule. But apart from that, as long as you don't attack the person personally, you're allowed to slag off their idea as much as you want. Go for it. I think, that's like,
I mean, I think a healthy discourse generally. So so then let's turn to this Hackaday thing. I'm reading this quickly, so I didn't see
Yep.
this beforehand. So
right.
give us a synopsis, and I'll keep reading to see if Your synopsis is good. And then I'll attack your synopsis on YouTube, but not you as a person.
Right. It basically comes down to the fact that people are publishing these projects, and it's not good to give, to not encourage people to keep, if everyone sees that article, actual projects are getting slagged off by everyone, right? Oh, you should have done this, should have done this, should have done this. Then nobody's going to do them. It's going to not encourage people to actually build things or publish things or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the bootstrap problem, right? Like, how do you get people who are new to a community to like get them encouraged, but also like, not scare them off, right? I mean, there's some legitimacy to that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can't stop it. You
can't, right? Exactly.
It's how engineers think and work. It's
our
number one trait is that we say what we think, And if we think that's a bad design, then we're going to say so. Or you should have done it. Or we should have done it this way. Often it's not done with malice. It's done with, look, I'm helping you. Like, here's a better way to do it. Kind of thing. Yet some people just can't handle it.
Yeah, I think the best people that do that are basically switch into teacher mode as fast as possible, right? Like the kind of the mentors, like the unsolicited mentorship sort of thing. Like, hey, let me tell you about this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like that's a bad idea. Well, actually, there are times to say it's a bad idea, right? Like, so like we talked about, right? Like when a DMM doesn't show high voltage, that's a bad idea,
that's
right?
bad.
There are some objective truths I feel like around around safety. Safety is probably a pretty critical one.
Right.
In terms of like taste and style, like I don't really care about that.
Yeah. It's the wrong color. You should have painted it red.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
that's bike
totally
shedding, right?
subjective.
Yeah, that's
classic,
right. Classic
Yes.
bike shedding,
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, but
Well, how about
we
this?
can't
Let's look at this.
exist.
How did you used to be? I mean, you still are. You're a prolific forum poster and
Yes.
BBSer, right?
Yeah.
What would be your take when you saw like a craptastic project? Like someone would you be able to tell if they were new? Like,
Oh
what do you do
yeah,
in that
totally.
scenario?
Yes. Oh, totally. Well, there is a beginners section on the EV blog forum, and technically we have slightly different rules for the beginner section in that you should try and be nicer to the beginner
right,
because
right.
because they are posting in the beginner section.
It's the bunny hill, right? It's
right.
Don't
Right.
expect the double black diamond slopes until you've
exactly. Whereas
tried
if
things out,
that's it. But if you publish in the regular project section, as long as you don't personally attack the person, which is the number one rule on the forum, then it's fair game. And if you can't handle it, like I've actually had some people post in the project section or other parts of the forum, and then they report the post saying, he wasn't nice to me, he's being mean. And it's like, dude, no, sorry, you have no right not to be offended. Or
do you have an
he's
example of
me,
like what the I mean, I'm sure there's it's based in fact, but like I don't
No,
know.
it was like it's always like the way they say it. The person took offense because they sounded rude in their reply or something like that. Or I'm offended that you said that. It's like, no, sorry, dude, you have no right not to be offended.
Yeah, it's tough.
That is one of the forum rules as well. But so technically for the beginners section, but as for Hackaday, it's not for beginners. People don't publish their projects on here. It's usually the Hackaday writers which find a project on some, website or some, GitHub or something somewhere, and they go, hey, here's this really cool thing. So they're the ones writing the article. So it's not the author themselves usually writing the article for Hackaday. It's not the actual designer. So I think it's fair game. I think it's absolutely whereas if they had a beginner section and they were publishing,
I mean, they do kind of, right? That's like
from
Hackaday
the author
IO,
themselves.
right?
Oh, is
that's
it?
like,
okay,
that's like they have a
Hackaday
Hackaday
IO
projects.
forever.
It's called.
Okay, well, that's probably is there like comments and forum on that?
There is, but it's not this. It's not the same. I mean, it's a different site, really. It's a homegrown site. So.
Oh, it's a forum, isn't it, or something? It's a.
Yeah, it's like a
Discover.
Hackster, Hackaday IO. They're all kind of the same thing. Where it's
yes, it's like a
Instructables, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Where you can publish your own projects.
I think generally that it's not as trafficked by long shot. I don't think, but it's yeah.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, there's comments, followers, and likes. So I'm trying to find.
But it's just a different system. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same
Yeah,
volume. It's not the
no.
386 comments on an article like this one got. So
Yeah. No, but I'm thinking that no, the regular Hackaday site, they're done by established professional authors working for Hackaday. I'm sorry, you should be able to take some negative comments. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. You know, and if they personally attack you or somebody else, fine, kill their comment. But other than that, no, I'm sorry, it's fair game. You know.
I mean, it's been a wild west in that comment section for a long time too.
Oh, I'm sure it has. Yeah, I'm sure it has. But you know, no, you can't moderate. You're gonna die. I've seen forums die by over moderation. I've seen countless forums die. You know, like no, everyone is supposed to be nice to each other. No exceptions whatsoever. You'll get banned if you dare say anything that somebody finds offensive.
It's tough, right? I mean, like it's criticism generally is hopefully constructive, right? I mean, that's
I do, like, you know, there are some nasty engineers out there that, you know, do it out of spite, but in my experience, you know, most of them they're being constructive. Like, yes, you might take it the wrong way, as they might have worded it, well, you know, in a way that you found, you know, like it sounds like they're personally attacking you, but they're not. They're just talking like engineers do, like, oh, you should have done this, should have done, like, here's a better way, boop, 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 you know. Yeah. So anyway. Yep.
Yeah.
No, you either allow a almost free for all, or you die. Is pretty much how it works in the engineering world. I'm sorry. Yeah. Engineers gonna be engineers.
That is a truism. Yes.
Yes. We're famous for it. Like, you know, the famous business adage, don't let engineers talk to customers, right? is the number one rule of business. Don't let engineers talk to customers. Because we'll just say shit that, you know, we'll brag our own product.
True things too. Yeah, I think that's the problem, right?
Yep. So, did I tell you about my first ever job reference?
No, I don't think so.
I should be able to dig it out of the archives, and I thought I did at one point, but I can't. If I can, I'll scan it and I'll publish it on the X's.
Okay.
My first and only job reference, really, that I ever got when I was a teenager, right? And I'm quoting almost verbatim, I think. David, you know, which if people don't know, a job reference is somebody senior at the company writes a letter after you, you know, leave or whatever, a job reference, you know. Sure, everyone knows what job references, right? Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
maybe not, but that's
anyway, he said, David sometimes lacks tact. But I don't believe this is due to rudeness. And with time, I believe he can improve this quality or something like that. And spoiler alert, no, I haven't improved. Maybe I've mellowed a bit with age of Tad, but no, I still lack tact.
You've gone the other direction, actually. You've gotten
Really?
grumpier, but maybe, you're grumpier. Yeah, you're grumpy.
I'm probably less rude than I was.
That could be, yes. I think that's right, yes. And I think less maybe quick to judgment.
Possibly. I'm more balanced. I'm more...
You're slower. That's what it really is.
Slower, right. I'm slowing down in my
Yeah.
In my wheelchair,
Attack.
Anyway, that was on my reference, and I'll see if I can find it and scan it.
Okay.
It's,
tell me about references there. Is it actually like you carry the reference with you versus like here when people ask for references for like jobs, but it's like just give me some names and numbers and emails, and I'll reach out to them for.
Well, we are talking the 80s. We're talking pre-internet here, right?
Oh, before they had phones.
Before they had phones. You know, so it's generally.
I didn't know if that's how it was done. I mean,
yes, you would physically bring a reference. Yeah, you would physically carry a reference. Okay. Yeah, I don't think anyone does it anymore.
I've never gotten one, but it's a good idea. Yeah. I do remember.
Well, though that's why I said I've only ever gotten one, and that was at my first job, and that was because after that, no, it was. Well, no, technically, I got no. At other companies I did, but it was like a boiler template thing. It wasn't a personal reference. It just stated that you have worked worked at this company from this period to this period, and you were employed as such and such engineer. You know, so it was more of a formal reference, not a personal reference.
Yeah. Okay.
And that just came from the HR department. It didn't come from your manager or the boss or whatever.
I mean, it's a baller move to show up with. I mean, we talk about showing up with projects, but showing up with like a binder full of like references, like it would be like it. So there is so Seth Godin is a marketer that I've always followed. They're not as much recently, but he always talks about how he's at the end of a project. He's like, he says at the beginning of the project, I'm going to ask you for a reference at the end of the project, and here's what I hope to deliver for you, and I hope you'll be able to talk about. And he says it up front, and like and then he's going to use that and like have a binder full of projects.
Job references. Well, that is baller, a LinkedIn thing. It's all on LinkedIn now. Like you can get references from other people in the industry, right? Isn't that? I mean, I've gotten testimonials from customers that went onto a
a consulting site that actually was never updated. But I did actually get like the quotes. I got quotes from. I went out and asked for quotes from the references from past clients. So like that is something like that, I guess. And yes, you're right. LinkedIn also has that as a feature, which I have not done in a long time, but people still do. Personally, I think so.
I'm sure it's still a thing, and that's the thing that HR looks at. I
guess.
Yeah, like can you imagine if you got a reference from Elon Musk or something?
I'm really sick of that guy. But yes, I'm sure that would stand out. Yes,
I'm talking 100%
about would stand out.
Right. Yeah, it'd totally stand out. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Even if you hate him, it'd totally stand out.
Yes, no doubt. It would definitely grab attention and be like, yes. Yep. So.
There you go. Yes, I know of your eternal hatred.
Yeah.
For the Musk. I'm going to send you a bunch of Musk sticks. How about that? I send you some Musk sticks.
Like, what is a Musk stick?
Oh, dude. National lolly here in Australia. It's a lolly or a candy, as you guys call it.
Okay, so when you say Musk, I think of... But is it actually candy?
Yeah, it's actually, it's a soft... A Musk stick is... I'll give Musk sticks.
Interesting. Yeah. Let me tell you, as you're searching for that, I've been getting into fragrances lately, which is a hobby that nobody needed to know about. Yeah, musk is like a thing that like it's like an animal-based fragrance that it's like a thing like that. And like so when you say musk stick, I'm like, that sounds disgusting.
Right.
I mean, it actually still sounds disgusting even when you tell me about it, but it must be a flavor. What is the flavor like?
It's musk flavor. I don't know. There's no other flavor like it.
Can you? Is any close to anything? It's sugary, so it's candy, right?
Yeah, I can't. Oh, musk. How would you describe musk?
Sounds disgusting.
It sounds. It
looks like licorice, kind of.
No, well, it's like it's a stick, but it's
fondant. It says
it's like
pink.
It's the taste and flavor as if you're eating something that's perfume flavored.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, it's like a perfumey, but Aussies love it. Aussies love musk flavor. We have musk sticks.
Weird.
We have musk lifesavers. Right? So, yeah, musk is a thing here. Musk is a thing here.
Actually,
so much so...
Wait a second. August 2019 article that's referenced at the bottom of this wiki article. It says, musk sticks, the lolly that divides a nation.
Oh, no, a most disgusting food.
Maybe you're just in that half that likes it, you know?
I'm in the half that... Well, Vegemite as well. Not every Aussie loves Vegemite,
Oh, my God. This is
must stick. Would you like me to send you some?
I mean, kind of. Yeah.
Kind of. I'll send you some musk sticks.
Man.
And
I should have. If I knew about them, I would try them if I came back down there. But damn,
okay.
Right. I bet I could probably. I'll look locally first and see if I can. They'll be obviously like sticks. Imported, so they'll be like older, right?
Yeah, I don't think any other country sells them. I think it's.
It says New Zealand as well, but
probably
the same,
New Zealand,
right?
practically the same. Yeah.
In October 2018, the Disgusting Food Museum in Malmo, Sweden, included musk sticks.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Oh, man, and that's Sweden, too. And they got some funky food there. So, damn.
Oh, God. Anyway,
that's a good one.
Musk.
That's a good
one.
Musk
no, and if you're in the Australian military. You know how they get those MREs, right? The
God,
MRE kits. Yeah,
Yeah.
they come with Musk lifesavers. So the Aussie MREs come with Musk lifesavers.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
how. Yeah.
that's something. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. So
Tastes
anyway,
like home. Tastes like licking pavement back in Australia. Whatever it tastes like.
This has
yeah.
to be the title. We've got to have Musk
I know,
sticks
I know.
with
I
a
don't
photo
want
of Elon. We'll try and generate a
No, I
photo of
don't
Elon
want to.
Musk with
No, I
as a
don't want
Musk
to.
stick, holding a Musk stick. Why?
I
Do
mean,
you hate him that
technically,
much?
the Starship was caught by 2 Musk sticks.
It was. It was. Okay, we'll try and. Yep.
Just do a little replacement thing of it being caught. Yeah.
Come on, we
Man,
at
that
least
thing
have
was
to
so
include the
big.
Mechazilla catch
That
in
thing
the
was so
thumbnail. It's
big.
got to be
I
in the
know.
thumbnail.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's so popular. Everyone's going to
It
click
was
on it. Dude.
so big. My God.
Oh, it's the size of a freaking skyscraper.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to explain. I was watching it because it was like morning time here. I was watching it with my daughter. I was just like trying to explain it. I'm just like, well, that is like, it doesn't look that big because we're watching my phone too. I'm like, it doesn't look that big, but that's like really, really, really
It's
big.
the size of a gigantic building. Yeah. It's just nuts.
It's really
And-
hard to explain, right? I mean, like,
Right.
I've also been trying to like explain lately, I said old to you earlier, but I've been catching myself doing this a lot lately too, of just like, like we're looking at the navigation in the car and I'm just like, well, yeah, like this didn't exist when I was a kid, like, just like that, like, just like when it, like the eyes of a young person versus, my rapidly aging eyes. And it's just so normalized, right? It's just, it's just the, the line on the screen that tells my parents how to get somewhere, or the, the building that's caught by chopsticks, right? It's just like, sometimes it's really weird, like, yeah.
It was a red letter day in the history of engineering, I think. It was.
Oh, I think so.
But it's actually, the more I thought about it, like, because I originally, as like everyone else, I originally thought it was a crazy idea.
The more I thought about
right?
it,
Try and catch this thing.
I could have done that. I could have done that.
I was confident. I was very confident it was going to work. Why? Because I changed my mindset. I changed my thinking about it. It is not catching it. It's landing on it. And technically, it's easier to land on a top catch than it is to land on the ground. Landing on the ground is hard because the wind can knock you over, balance, all that sort of stuff. Whereas if you're catching it from the top or land, what they're doing, the chopsticks aren't actually.
They're hovering.
So it comes down to
which they've
can
gotten
you
very,
do it
very, very
precisely?
good at. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can you do it precisely? And once I realized that the last mission, the Flight 4, they got within 5 millimeters of their desired landing spot. So once I heard that, and then I thought, and then I thought if they have that precision and they can rotate it with the 3 gimbaled engines, then if they can get 5 millimeter precision on the landing, then yes, this thing is easy. All they have to do is rest it down. It's just got to hover and rest down. So they're actually landing on the chopsticks. So the chopsticks aren't technically catching them. So I think it's the incorrect way to see it. They're landing on these 2 arms, which just happen.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, they have to be out of the way at first, but then.
Oh, they have to be out of the way at first, and then move them in. But that's a trivial kind of problem. So So I was actually quite confident that it was going to do it, and sure enough, bam. Yeah.
I didn't know about it enough before the.
Right. Yeah.
Mine was very opportunistic. I was like, okay, I'll click that.
Here we go. Yeah, of course.
Look, crypto. Look, crypto.
For those who don't know, SpaceX do not publish on YouTube anymore. They haven't for a year. The only place you can watch it is on X.
You can watch rebroadcast streams. That's how I ended up doing it on YouTube.
You can watch
Everyday Astronaut is what I watched.
You weren't watching,
which is just like
you weren't watching my live stream. I'm disappointed.
I didn't have the link, Dave.
You didn't see it. Yeah, because you don't follow me on.
The thing is, when you're watching someone else watching a stream, it's like, no offense, what am I getting out of that?
Right, I know.
I mean, like, I will say this: during the boring parts, it's actually fine, right? Like, because it's either you or the SpaceX,
SpaceX do a pretty good job.
They do okay, and they do like custom stuff. But like, if you're following someone like yourself, that's fine, right? You're giving context, you're talking about things you like about it, right? Fine, following your people you like following, that's great. But like during the actual action, like. Shut up! I'm trying to watch.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Well, you choose. Well, then you just go watch the official stream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I watched Launch 4 on X.
Yeah. Choice is a good thing.
Yep, totally.
And oh, by the
Yes,
way,
yes.
in all that hoopla, I totally missed that the Falcon Heavy launched the Europa Clipper mission, which was actually
yeah.
delayed due to the hurricane. It was supposed to launch before the Starship thing.
Yeah.
So it successfully launched, and apparently they did have the ping from it, and that's a massive space probe. That is enormous space probe.
Europa's
which is gonna,
Jupiter.
Europa,
right?
a moon. Yes, a moon. Yep.
Yeah, moon of Jupiter.
Yep. And it's one of the ones which, if there's going to be life anywhere, it's probably going to be there, because there's gigantic oceans under.
I recognized it from some of my nerd books. So
Right, yep.
yeah.
And 2010 and 2001: A Space Odyssey. Europa is for us. Do not go there. Is the transmission. Yes.
I never saw it.
Oh, what? You've never seen?
I knew this would set you off. Yeah, I've seen the intro, and
God.
I just it. Yeah, I know.
You've never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey or 2010, which is a pretty good movie, a pretty good sequel, by the way.
Okay.
Underrated sequel, 2010.
It just never grabbed me. I I know it's
Well,
like
it is a
classic
slow
film.
burn. Like it's
Yeah,
a
I
classic,
know,
and
yeah.
it's a real slow burn. Like
Yes.
it's like really
Yes,
and
and
it's
I know,
and it's
yeah.
long. I think it's quite long.
Yeah, it's like
and
2.5
slow.
hours. I think 3 hours. Something like that.
and it's long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
I
real
feel like if it's like
slow
more
and
of a
the
film
ending's
student,
cryptic,
I'd like
it's-
it. And
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Yep.
And then I can just ask you,
Right. Okay.
yada yada
Well,
yada,
it's-
something.
it's
Hal,
just
open the
watch
bay
it,
doors.
Hal. Yeah, open the
Yeah,
pod bay
you're right.
doors, Hal, and
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
totally. I get it. I
I
pretty much
think
get
the
it.
Europa thing's from 2010. I might be mixing that up.
Okay, spoilers then. Spoilers, please. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, great movie. I've seen it in 70mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Classic.
the ticket.
Classic format. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's go through some links before we go. One of them I did want to actually mention. I don't actually get what. So I've seen this article a couple places, but I don't really get it. So the Hurricane Ian came through here,
Ian.
area North Carolina where I live, the eastern part of the
Oh, I
state.
thought it had some other name.
No problem.
No?
Was it Ian?
There was Milton. And
Helene.
there was the one
Sorry, it
before
was
that.
Helene. It was Helene.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, it was Helene.
Helene.
Sorry.
Yep.
Helene,
Yes. What part of North Carolina did you even?
Yeah,
sense
so
anything was- Yeah.
I'm like middle. I'm like in the middle of North Carolina. There's the coast to our
Mm-hmm.
east, and our friend Martin Lorton is in the western part, like where Asheville is. Kind of Asheville's the center, the main center part. It's in the mountains, and that got just decimated. Like it's
Oh,
just
really? So
Martin's
how's
okay.
Martin doing? Yeah.
Martin's okay, but that's just that area is really really messed up.
Right. Okay.
And a lot of people died, unfortunately. And one of the things that came out of it, though, is Spruce Pine is a city there, and it's like the only. So the article is that it's the only place that they source quartz for semiconductors.
What?
And I don't. Yeah, it's like this really really pure form of quartz, and the town is gone. I mean, like it's
Wow.
like all of the. Yeah, it's like this little tiny town, and they do mining. It's like mining, basically.
Yeah.
But
It's a mining town for quartz.
yeah, yep.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's a source. It's a very pure source, but I don't understand what it's going to do to the supply chain.
Oh,
I mean, that's a
interesting.
very glib thing of a tragedy. Like
Right.
like I said, like
What? So is that the only place in the U.S. that is a quartz mine?
it's this level of purity, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Super special. Okay. Yeah.
and so
Hurricane.
I don't
Helene-
understand-
Yeah, I've got a link here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It like it really. I mean, like
Critical qu-
so many towns got like wiped out like this, but
Wow.
this one, man, wow, there's some really bad news sites here. It says operations resume, so like,
Okay,
I'm
so
sure
they
they're,
did get back on their feet. Okay, so maybe
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a big disruption.
but
Wow.
still, like, I don't actually know where this fits into the ecosystem. Like,
Hmm.
the quartz isn't used as like a. I don't even know. Like, where is it
Well,
used in the process?
like in silicon, I don't. Well, they're talking about solar
like, I think
panels.
oscillators, maybe.
That's all I think about when I think of quartz.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I don't think of anything
quartz watches, right?
else. Yeah, quartz. Yeah, I don't think of anything but quartz crystals.
I mean, you
I'm
have
sorry.
quartz. quartz is lining the inside of the chambers that I used to use in dry etch.
Oh, okay. Right.
So there is that.
Right. But I didn't think quartz was used in silicon wafer processing, but maybe I'm wrong. But
Well, that is I mean, that's the part that I was talking about. Yeah.
yeah, but not actually the wafer itself.
No, yeah, that's starting usually from high-end sand, I thought.
Okay.
Not quartz. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Weird. Okay.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
that might have some ripples in the ecosystem, but I saw it. I literally don't know, you know?
Right.
So we'll have to
Cool.
look into it. If anyone knows, please leave a comment down below.
No worries. And what else we got? Any other quick mentions or
Mm,
unmanaged 615 is on the case again?
classic. Yep.
Yeah.
There was a thing. So Meshtastic, this is probably within the time since we last spoke. The 900 megahertz band has had basically, there was like a request for comment because they're trying to do, which is the ISM band here in the US. So
Right.
915 is like a lot of the radios. And I've talked last time you and I spoke, I believe. I talked about Meshtastic and my interest in it, and like, and that uses LoRa weight radios, which are in the ISM band. And basically, there's a navigation system that was proposing a change to the band,
Oh.
and Meshtastic put out a comment about it because that would negatively impact people using LoRa and other ISM radios, and so it was like,
Right.
yeah. And so we'll link to the actual comment and stuff like that. But it was like an FCC. So NextNav says could reshape the 900 megahertz band. There would be a lot of interference, right? So like, you know, the uplink downlink stuff. And yeah, I don't understand why they would have considered this, the FCC. Like, there is a lot of paid spectrum out there,
Right.
but there must be something specific about 900 megahertz. Like, I'm not actually sure why a commercial company like this would be able to step on unlicensed band, because I thought it was actually a protected status. But
Yeah, right.
maybe it's just not protected. Maybe it's just like,
Maybe there's a loophole somewhere.
well, maybe it's just open, you know? It's just like, well, nobody's claimed it yet, so it's like kind of
Right.
an ad hoc, like, well, you know, people can use it because they use it, right?
Right.
And but that would suck. So I am officially against it as well. I don't think it passed. I don't think it's
Okay.
going to happen. But yeah, this is Meshtastic published a opposition to it. So that was another one on our list.
Well, that's it. Our amp
I
hour's
think
up.
that's it. Yeah, I think that's all we've got. As always, people can follow us on Reddit. We have a subreddit, /r/theamphour. You can submit your own articles there. You can also leave a comment on our website. We actually have comments, much like Hackaday.
Right.
yeah,
Leave comments on our YouTube channel as well, or on our X. We're on the
That's
X's
true.
as well.
That's right.
The Twitter is.
People should not expect very fast responses, but there may be responses.
There may be. Yeah, we check
Maybe.
it periodically.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Cool. Well, good chat with you. Good luck
No
with
worries.
your.
I'm going to go work on a chopsticks must stick thumbnail
Must stick.
thing.
Oh my God, we're not doing that. Come on, man.
What?
Must stick. Yeah.
You haven't even tried it.
Yeah. Okay.
Already in.
We'll think about it. We'll think about
All right. Okay. All right. Catch you next time.
it. See ya.